Mike Huber, Moneyball Hitter Magazine. How you guys doing? Lead columnist, team hitting specialist. Today we're going to be talking about the Miami Marlins and previewing their team. And I just want to let you know that I'm a little bit more than halfway done with all the teams. And it is just amazing how I am seeing the hitting systems in the minor leagues, the hitting coordinators, and the hitting coaches for the major league teams just totally taking down professional hitters here. And these hitters are not even hitting half as what they can to their potential. And their swings are just being ripped apart from the minor leagues on up. And now there's hardly any great hitters who have escaped what I call the minor league hitting wrath and the untouchables. And there's a very few out there that have been untouched now. And what we're finding out is that all these hitting coaches that get fired year in, year out, for the past 5 years especially, are just moving to other teams. And it's usually the teams on the bottom 10 teams. The hitting coach will get fired, he'll get another job with another bottom hitting team, either as the hitting coach or a minor league hitting coordinator. So it's all about wearing the hats, networking. I've been here, I've been there. It has nothing to do with I just didn't get any results anywhere that I went. It's just I have this much experience and building up the resume that way, not really getting much done at all. Okay, so it is just amazing how I am seeing this trend and how this trend has trickled down 1 year after the next, after the steroid era, and just trickled down to get the hitting as worse as it is right now. Worse since 1972. 253 team batting average in the MLB is terrible. The slugging percentages have gone down at least 20 to 40 points, depending on which team that you talk about. And you know what? It's no better with the Miami Marlins. Wait till you hear this one. So the Marlins ranked 15th, where they were in last place last year, and they've been near last place for the last 5 years. But this past year, they had, a decent year. 15th out of 29 teams is hardly anything to talk about. But they took a 15-point jump, and we're going to tell you why. Okay, one of the reasons why is their best hitter, Giancarlo Stanton, who just had a monster year, 37 home runs, 288. So whenever you have just one hitter do that, it's going to pick up the rest of the team statistically. Okay, so Stanton picked up their team. So why have the Marlins been so bad the last 5 years? And beyond that, we can't say that they were real good. I mean, I don't know. They've just been really bad the last 5 years. I'm not even looking past that. So John Mallee, who has been for 9 years, he's been with the Marlins farm system. He has been coordinating the hitters ever since. Okay, so this John Mallee guy. And John Mallee is one of the top-notch speakers if you go to any baseball convention. He's one of the most sought-after speakers about hitting. Tabbed as a hitting guru. Okay? And we've had a number of hitting gurus that we've found in the major league teams. Now, these hitting gurus, they make their own DVD products. They go around speaking. They've been in the minor league system as coordinators and stuff. Not much as usually hitting coaches. But when they do get a chance to be a hitting coach, especially in the major leagues, they fall flat on their face. Okay? So it's almost like if you go to a baseball academy and you do lessons with a guy that used to be a minor league or major league player, he really never has really coached too many teams before. And if he has, Um, he's he's either stuck with an elite team where he looks good, or he hasn't been able to get anybody much better. Okay, this is what we see. This is the trend. So same with Mallee. He's been with him for 9 years. The past 5 years, especially, they've been near last place, and we have to figure out why. What's going on? Well, here at Moneyball Hitter Magazine, we're usually seeing it all starts in the minor league farm systems. The people that they bring up hit a glass ceiling, can't get any better. You hardly get 1 out of 20 guys that really can make the roster and put up the numbers to stay on a roster. And that's the coordinator's fault and all his cronies that work underneath him, basically, because you have to follow a certain philosophy. So they've followed Mallee's philosophy. Mallee, who used to play in was he playing in the major leagues? The minor leagues, he was a 208 hitter. That's fine if you were a 208 hitter, but if you're teaching the same crap that you did as a 208 hitter, what's the use? If you were a 208 hitter and said, oh, okay, this is what I did wrong or something like that, and then you change some things up, and you got hitters to hit better, that's a different story. But this hasn't been happened ever since this guy really has been there. Okay, I think they won the World Series one time with him there, but the numbers consistently throughout the minor leagues and the major leagues with this guy in charge, and he's been the major league hitting coach too, and he got fired because they were just in last place. Has just botched up the whole system. We're going to tell you why. First, let's talk about the Marlins. They've got 2-star hitters. Remember, in our Moneyball hitting formula, you need 4. They got Stanton, and they got Marcell Ozuna, who hits 23 homers and 269. Then they only got 2 other guys that can really hit. This Yelich, who's a 287 hitter, 9 home runs, and McGee, 288, 4 home runs. Those are some good chipping guys. So 4 guys in the lineup that you got to pay attention to. They've got 5 or 6 other guys who are in the 250 club or lower and don't hit more than 5 home runs. Total waste cases. Okay? So if it wasn't for Stanton, I don't know, this team would probably be in last place again as hitting. Now, Frank Menachino took over for Mallee. Okay? So he walked into basically a junkyard, okay? And basically, he said, you know what, we're not, because Mallee's a big mechanics guy. And this is dangerous. If you're a big mechanics guy and you don't know what you're talking about, even though on face value it looks like you do, but you really don't, and we're going to show why Mallee does not, you're going to wreck teams. And we've already showed you guys who are big mechanical guys who just go in and just wreck teams. Sometimes in 1 year. Usually it takes 2 to 3 years to wreck a team. Okay? But this Menachino just said, you know what, we're just going to work on plate discipline, approaches, and we're going to get away from the mechanics. And as soon as he did that, at least, the hitters, at least they ranked 15th instead of 30th. So he got away from the Mallee system or whatever Mallee was teaching. Okay? So, although we know this about Menachino, who's been a AA at Trenton, he was very average to below average, his team numbers there were. So he's nothing special, okay? And he doesn't really know more than too many other people, although just by taking his hands off the players more than Mallee did, look what happened. All right? So, we're going to keep your eye on Menachino. We think that here at Moneyball Hitter Magazine, we think that Menachino's hit his glass ceiling. He's not going to get any better than 15th ranked with the Marlins for a long time, to tell you the truth. And 15th ranked pretty much sucks. Okay? This team, two-star hitters and 2 other hitters that maybe can chip in, and you can't get 6 or 7 other hitters to at least chip in, that's telling me that you don't know too much. Okay? So, now, Mallee, So he's got all these DVDs, and if you want to find anything about him up, just look him up on YouTube. But if you go to, you know, underneath this video on Moneyball Hitter Magazine, I'm going to show you a video of Mallee and he teaches his progressions on hitting. Okay, and most of them are pretty good on the load and all that sort of stuff. You know, which he is. And then when it gets to the start of the swing, this is when the problems exist. Okay, and I noticed this about 20 years ago, to tell you the truth, when I really did some deep research and found out that most of the major league hitters, hitting coaches, college hitting coaches, they're not getting results. So, you know, and I knew all their philosophies and stuff. So I basically started to use an opposite approach. Do the opposite of what these guys are saying. So in Mallee's video that you'll see, if you go to my website, if you don't see it, I'm just going to tell you, he starts, they call it the ground up. You got to work from the ground up. This is a big, you know, quote unquote, hitter's saying that's going on. Work from the ground on up type of thing. Okay? So you start with your back foot coming up off the ground, the knee goes into the plane of the swing, and then maybe the hips come through, and then you push the barrel of the bat straight through type of thing. So this is what he's saying. I'm telling you, he's got it ass backwards, and if he's had it ass backwards for 9 years, and I can see why, and I hope you can see why, the Marlins have been almost in last place for the last 5 years. Okay? If he's got it ass backwards. I don't care if you believe me or not. I'm just telling you, I do the exact opposite. And I'm not going to tell you the details of what I'm going to do because I don't give my secrets away. You can try to figure them out, or you can buy our products. Okay? But unlike guys like Mallee, who just gives his secrets away out on YouTube, he gave his secrets away because there's no secret, because most of these major league hitting coaches are teaching this way anyway. So there is no secret to it. All right? So he's just backwards in all of his thinking. He's getting hitters out of sync. They're losing their power. It's just unbelievable to me. And this Mallee guy is a good-looking guy, professional, carries himself professionally, great speaker, you know, good with the crowd. Except he doesn't know what he's talking about. Now Mallee's with Houston. Houston picked him up. One of the other worst hitting teams in the league. Do you see the trend here? They're just picking up one bad guy from the next to the other bad team and seeing if it's a change of scenery is going to work. I told you changes of scenery does not work with hitting coaches unless you're a hitting coach with a last place team to a first place team. Okay? To a first place hitting team, ranked. All right? Or top 10. And then you're going to look good for a couple of years until you ruin those hitters. All right? That's just how it works. So Miami, you got a long way to go. Okay? You got a long way to go. Unless you get some free agents or something like that, you got a long way to go. And you're playing in beautiful weather down there. You've got all the advantages, and you know, for 9 years, I mean, how are you going to undo 9 years? The only person that can come in and undo 9 years is, you're looking at him right here. Okay? It'd be one big meeting with everybody. You got it backwards. I teach the total opposite, and I'm getting 3 times as much as results as this Mallee guy was. And this is a base hitting contact type of swing that he teaches. And we would let the players know that we are not a base hit contact hitting. We are a slugging team, and we're going to learn how to slug consistently where the team batting averages are up at the same time. And we have a formula for that. And it works. And everybody buys in. I mean, I go to teams who do Mallee's system. What's the matter? What's the matter with your team? Why can't you hit? Well, we went through John Mallee's system, you know, back knee to the ball and stuff like that, and a couple of other hitting instructors that we've, you know, that have helped us out, or we bought their videotapes. Okay, I know exactly what to do, and we just fix it. Okay, we get 50-point increases in team batting averages and slugging percentages with nearly every team that we work with. It could be 30, sometimes it's 70, but on average it's 50. We're just fixing and untying the crap that the hitting coaches have been teaching these teams. And all the crap comes from major leagues, trickles down to the college, and all the information goes from high school on down to the community. And I just untie it all and then put in the right information. And it happens pretty quickly. A whole team in one season we can turn around. We've got a formula. We've seen the crap. In order to fix anything or to problem solve anything, you got to see all the crap from the eagle's bird's eye nest. Okay? Just don't see the crap with one team or one guy. Okay? You got to see what they're all doing, and they all have the same problems, and they just use different languages and stuff like that. But they think that they're all unique and creative in how they're teaching it, when they're really not, if you see it from the bird's eye nest. How are you supposed to uncode anything or get a combination from something if you don't see the big picture? All right? You're not going to be a good president anywhere in a country if you don't know what's going on in the world. Does it all make sense to you? Or am I just your eyes are just Googling? All right? But this is why we are doing these team reviews. To put all the pieces of the puzzle together and call out all these hitting coaches and coordinators are teaching the same things in sometimes different languages, showing you that the numbers are progressively going down since the steroid era especially. These guys are trying their darndest to save their jobs, and they're trying even harder to lay their hooks into these hitters. And it's getting worse. And Marlins, thank God you got rid of Mallee, but I don't know how you're going to untie all those knots. I really don't. I wish you the best of luck. That's all I could tell you. Mike Huber, it's been fun. I hope at least you're entertained, if not educated. We'll talk to you next time. Take care.